Hey guys, Level Cap here. Today I want to keep a little bit more of an open format video, talk about what I've been doing lately as a gamer, what's going on in life, and what things we've got to look forward to from games, primarily from E3 since that's coming up so soon. Now, as far as Battlefield 1 goes, the Battlefield 5, or rather the Battlefield 1 Road to Battlefield 5 thing is still in full effect. If you haven't been keeping up with that and getting the latest skin, there's a cool new skin that you can get for the Lewis machine gun that you can get by basically just getting 30,000 points in the game. But then you have to go to the Road to Battlefield 5 and claim your reward. Now, what's kind of cool is that the Lewis machine gun was still used pretty extensively in World War II. The Brits did replace this machine gun, but they lost a lot of their arms in Europe early on in the war, and so they had to supplement and bring back a lot of Lewis machine guns into the mix. The Lewis machine guns were also used heavily in the Navy, mounted on boats, sometimes in dual configurations, sometimes in quad configurations. And so having this cool custom skin in Battlefield 1 that's more representational of maybe a World War II skin is pretty cool. It's got a little watch on the side of it, and getting those 30,000 points ain't too hard. It's pretty fun, actually. Really been enjoying the Cavalry class lately. I personally think the Cavalry class is not properly balanced. I don't know if I would call it overpowered, but there's just some situations in which the Cavalry class can employ some really cheap mechanics, like its health and ammo replenish extremely fast, so it can heal extremely fast. The unit itself is quick, so it can get out of combat quickly, pop off some health and ammo, and come right back into the fight. The rate at which it heals also is incredibly fast, and so I feel like that's sort of an issue with the Cavalry class. Also, what makes it more difficult to kill is that the soldier and horse have different health values, and so some people go for trying to hit the soldier off the horse, some people go for trying to kill the horse, which will kill the soldier unless the soldier gets off the horse. And so that makes it a difficult unit to deal with. The most effective way to take out the Cavalry class, which I feel like a lot of people don't really know about, is the AT rocket gun. And I'm sure people have shot the Cavalry before, but if you are an assault player and a cavalry's charging you down, lay down, hit it with an AT rocket gun, and you'll be fine. It's like the best possible thing you can do in this situation. But yeah, I think that's like the one thing I've really been enjoying a lot in BF1, but I do recognize that it's a little bit broken on the balance side of things, and it is annoying to fight against cavalry when they know how to take advantage of the healing mechanics and just basically play on the edge of the battlefield and get out of harm's way when things get rough. I think this is a 19 kill streak and then the round ended, so who knows how long I could have gone on the cavalry here before actually getting killed. Also, that guy was trying to hit me with an AT rocket gun there, and as somebody who's now an experienced cavalry class player, you just got to stay mobile when you know an AT rocket gun is in the field. In fact, sometimes it just makes sense to keep your horse always moving, otherwise you'll end up as an easy shot for an AT rocket gun. What's funny is that you don't have to worry about sniper headshots as much. If you stand still with a cavalry class and a sniper headshots you from across the map, you can tank that damage and then just keep moving and drop some health and ammo and you'll be okay. Like, it's not that big of a deal, but it's the AT rocket guns you gotta watch out for when being stationary. And as much as people are ragging on Battlefield 1 these days, I still have a lot of fun playing it in Conquest mode right now. Sure, there's some really bad game modes or some poorly balanced modes, but Conquest in Battlefield 1 on the right maps with some decent team balance is actually quite fun, and I'm really appreciative that EA added the Road to Battlefield 5 thing in there, so it'll give me something to sort of work on as we lead up to BF5. Since this game has really lacked in progression, I haven't had a lot of things to do in this game in terms of progressing my character or unlocking new abilities or achievements, and so the Road to BF5 has been a nice addition to the game. Now, if you've been hanging out and watching my daily Facebook streams that are usually at 1 p.m. Pacific time on my Facebook channel, you might have heard me say that I wasn't going to E3 this year. Well, I changed my plans. I will be going to E3. There's a bunch of games I'll be checking out at E3. Quite excited about some of them. Certainly excited about getting some hands-on time with Battlefield 5 and actually getting an idea of what the gameplay is going to be like. I think that's probably the biggest mystery for most people right now. Is like, okay, we saw the trailer, we didn't like the trailer, but what is the actual gameplay like? Is this trailer just a terrible representation of the gameplay? Which I imagine it is. So I'll be able to actually get some hands-on time and give you guys my honest feedback about what I think about the gameplay. Then of course there's Anthem, which I'm quite skeptical about. It does look a bit like a Destiny clone, and I'm not a huge fan of Destiny, but it certainly will be worth checking out. I'm sure we'll see a lot of gameplay come out of E3 and we can get a better idea of what that game's going to be like, as again, we've only seen a highly crafted trailer of what that game's supposed to represent, and I think that one's been pushed back to a 2019 release, so something we can look forward to in the distant future. I think I might be able to get some hands-on time with Insurgency, the new one, and record some gameplay, because that one has actually been in a closed alpha testing environment for a while, but no recording, no all NDA for that stuff. So being able to record and post some gameplay of that would be exciting. There's a few Ubisoft things going on too that I'm excited to check out. The Division 2, I'm very curious about. I had a lot of hope for Division 1, and I spent quite a bit of time playing it initially, but as many people who got that game and got into that game stopped playing it pretty quickly, as it just suffered from so many issues. But Ubisoft has allegedly made a lot of big improvements to the game, and a lot of fans now are saying it's actually in a pretty good spot. So if they bring all that stuff to the Division 2 and it starts off on a good foot, it might actually capture my attention for a longer period of time. There seems to be a big surge in sort of these persistent world first-person shooter style games. We've got Division, Destiny, Anthem coming out. So we'll see if these games start taking over the market in a bigger way, or if it's really just sort of a pipe dream. As many of these games I don't think have quite achieved the notoriety or the level of success that I think a lot of the developers want, but I do believe there is a market there for a really successful persistent world first-person shooter, or shooter game. I know Division isn't necessarily exclusively a first-person shooter. Hardware-wise, I really want to get my hands on one of those new Asus 4K 144 Hertz monitors. These are going to be the first 4K monitors that can refresh at a high refresh rate like that. Acer is coming out with one too, but Asus I think beat them to the market by a little bit. I'm very curious about this. I want to see what kind of actual value comes out of upgrading to 4K and what games can be played at these extremely high frame rates at 4K. What kind of advantage can you get? You know, games that need a lot of fidelity at range, like PUBG, might benefit a lot from playing at 4K versus like 1440p or something like that. So I'm curious. You know, obviously some games, probably like Counter-Strike and simplistic game, or visually simplistic games like Fortnite, probably won't benefit too much from a 4K upgrade, but it is exciting to see that that hardware is finally coming out. A lot of capture card hardware and a lot of streaming hardware doesn't even incorporate 4K at higher refresh rates, so it's almost an impossible technology to take advantage of when it comes to streaming and other formats like that. But as far as just pure gaming, I am excited. I want to see what can be done with the future of fidelity in gaming. 4K is definitely in the future of all gaming. We're on a road to get there. This is just basically the first time we'll have a chance to actually see what it looks like at that high, crisp refresh rate. Now, on a more personal note, or what's going on behind the scenes of my YouTube channels, many of you might have seen my recent Secret Life of Lego vlog that I did talking about my secondary Lego channel. A lot of people seem to like it. What's going on that side of things is that we're actually moving the entire Lego studio and my personal home office into one new office environment that I'm really excited about. This upgrade. It's going to allow us for a lot of new opportunities and getting more people in to work with us. So this will be probably the first time as a YouTuber I've moved my work environment out of the home office. You know, there's a lot to be said about working from the home office, but there's a lot of negatives that come with it too. If you know that you can just pop into the office at any time during the day and get some work done, it gives you less incentive to try and get all your work done within an allotted period of time during the day. So I'm kind of looking forward to there sort of being more of a disconnect between my home life and my work life right now. So I'm very excited for this upgrade. The new office kicks butt, and especially for the Lego studio, it's going to give us so much more space to build some massive creations. So a lot of cool, exciting stuff happening. on the Lego front as well. Anyway, that's pretty much it for today's video. We are on the precipice of a huge amount of information coming out for popular first-person shooters and a lot of really cool upcoming games, and I can't wait to keep you guys updated on them all. Stay tuned to the channel for a first look and first impressions on a lot of upcoming games, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Level Cap signing off.